Dr. Boyce segment where we're going to talk about a guy who called into a radio show after his wife stole $17,000 out of his joint bank account. So he had a joint bank account with his wife, and his wife just kind of straight jacked him. She said that she took the money for her brother. Yeah, right. Anyway, I'm going to break some of this down for you and kind of give you a perspective on this. This was on my heart, so I'm going to jump into this topic that I hope to get your engagement on as well. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. This is theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day, under one condition. The condition is that we are Black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means we educate our kids. Black first means we break generational curses. We do not continue them. Black first means that we are teaching our children, our families, and ourselves about wealth, so that by the year 2070, our people can be the economic leaders of the world. So if you agree with this philosophy, if you agree with this plan, if you agree with this goal, if you agree with this agenda, type a hashtag B1 in the chat. Give me a hashtag B1. Also, shout out the city that you're from. Let me know which city you're from. I see Robert from Ocala. Is that Ocala or Osala? Osala, Florida. I see you. Tariq Fleming, good morning. Phyllis, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. All right, so let me ask y'all a question. Let's just kind of get started. And as I get started, if you could, hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot when you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to build some independent Black-owned media that's not controlled by massa. So if you'd like to help us with that, then just all you got to do is hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it, and the notification bell. So I see Donnie from Detroit, Linda from Atlanta, Lisa from Omaha, the same home of Warren Buffett. Frank Hauser, good morning to you. Robert James, Doug Sims, I see you. All right, let's see. Auntie already has a story. She says that my friend's wife took $150K 2 months ago out of their joint account and then put a restraining order on him after getting him arrested. Okay, wow. Okay, well, that marriage seems like they could use some help. Well, I wish them good luck. All right, so let me ask you all a question. Give me a yes or no. A yes or no. So the story was I was watching Angela Yee's podcast, and Angela Yee has a guy call in, right? And Angela Yee's on the Breakfast Club, or was on the Breakfast Club. So this guy calls in. He says, my wife took $17,000 out of our joint bank account, and she says that it was for her brother. She didn't tell me until I confronted her about it. Should I get a divorce? They've been married 21 years. They've been together 25 years. Yes or no? Do you think that they should get a divorce? Give me a yes or no. What do you guys think? And while you all answer that question, I want to go ahead and make sure I mention the sponsor for today's podcast, which is Ashtay Products. Ashtay Products is a Black-owned hair care company that has helped professional cosmetologists and barbers create first-generational wealth from behind the chair. Help continue this legacy by buying products that help us maintain healthy hair and build a strong community. Buy Black, buy Ashtay. So ashtay.com, that's their website. That's a Black-owned business that's supporting this podcast. We don't take corporate sponsorship from people that are not supportive of our community. So if you have a business or a platform you'd like to have promoted, you can go to drboycefinance.com and purchase a shout out. There's the URL on the screen. So all right. So what do you think? Yes or no? Okay. So I see Donnie says no. Let's see here. Devon says that's why you should put all your eggs in one place. Let's see. Paige says divorce seems extreme. Eric says no, need clarity. I'm going to tell you, I like these responses because it really shows that this platform is for intelligent Black people. And the reason I say that is because when I was looking at it, now, of course, I saw it on the Shade Room. And, the Shade Room is not exactly the place where, intellectual conversations are necessarily encouraged all the time. And on there, I saw a lot of people saying, get rid of him, girl, divorce him. That's it. It's over, stuff like that. Now, here's the interesting thing. So I was sitting there watching this, right? And here's what I'm thinking, right? Maybe I'm not a lawyer, but maybe this is part of the lawyer in me. I'm not a lawyer, but this is the lawyer in me. I remember thinking when he asked this question, why is he even asking the question to her? What is it about being a radio show host? No disrespect to Angela Yee, by the way. I like Angela a lot. I've met her several times. I've been on the Breakfast Club maybe four or five times. I can't remember. But I liked Angela. I met her. I think she's an awesome lady. But I really need to know what qualifies her, or anybody on that show. And I'm not just pointing out Angela, but what qualifies her to answer that question? I mean, give me a yes or no. I mean, is Angela Yee married? Does she? How many years has Angela Yee been married? I'm looking. I see she is a radio host. She's 46 years old. She was born to a Chinese mother and an Afro Montessorian. She's a Chinese father. I'm sorry, an Afro Montessorian mother. She attended Poly Prep in Brooklyn. I'm seeing her radio career. I'm seeing other endeavors. I'm seeing philanthropy. I don't see anything in her background that just even says that she should be a person you should be asking about advice on your marriage. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from her. It's not her fault the guy asked her the question. And this is not any sort of diss on anybody who chooses not to get married. I get it. I think I didn't get married till I was 40. Well, I proposed when I was 46. And then I got married when I was, I guess, whatever age I was a year and a half ago. So I'm not sitting here trying to say that she needs to be that's her fault, right? I'm not here to say that she has nothing of value to add to the world. I'm really trying to make a deeper point on this before we even dig into this. Now, if you want my 2 cents on it, I'm gonna give you my 2 cents, but just remember, it's only 2 cents. It's not $1. It's 2 cents. It's not $1. Okay. It's maybe because I have a PhD in finance. Instead of it being 2 cents, maybe it's 2 quarters because I could talk about the financial side. My wife is a relationship therapist with a full license. She's been doing it over 20 years. The reason I point this out is because one of the problems that I see, and this is maybe something I'm just observing on the internet, is that you have a lot of people getting relationship advice from people who don't even have relationships. Why in the world would you get relationship advice? Why would you get marital advice? I mean, you think about this. When a marriage breaks up, you're not just breaking up two people. It's not just like breaking up with your high school sweetheart. This is destroying a family. This is ending a massive legacy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Give me a yes in the chat if you follow what I'm saying. So that's huge. Your marriage is an institution like a bank or like a church or like a school. It's an institution. So why would you, I would question the brother who called in with the question. I would say, why in the hell are you asking Negroes on the radio their opinion about what you need to do about the institution that you are the CEO of? You are the CEO of your last name. You are the head of this organization. Here's the deal. Look, if my bathroom goes bad and I need plumbing done in my bathroom, am I going to go and find a soccer player and have them do my plumbing for me? If I need heart surgery, am I going to go to Dunkin' Donuts and find somebody who makes really good donuts and say, hey, by the way, after you make my chocolate curl donuts, can you cut my body open and fix my heart for me? Right? Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. So really what I want, the reason, what inspired me to really even talk about this topic was just that first thought of course you're not going to get the right answer because you're asking the wrong people. If you want to understand how to navigate through the intrinsic and just the exhaustive set of complexities that come with managing a marriage and a family, you probably need to talk to some people who have a marriage and a family. Do you get what I'm saying? Am I crazy for saying this? Do I sound like a hater for saying this? Am I being mean to Angela Yee for saying this? I don't think I am. I hope I'm not. And I really want to encourage everybody, get advice from the right people. A lot of people's relationships are not working because they're going to the internet for relationship advice from people who, if you took 2 seconds to research their background, you would find that they ain't never even had a healthy relationship in their life. The reason you listen to them is because they sound good. Or maybe you watch him because he looks good, he's handsome, and you like staring at his hazel eyes while he tells you to go buy his book. Or maybe you like listening to a woman who's going to tell you that black women ain't nothing and black women are stupid and blah, 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 while she sits there with her titties out telling you everything that you want to hear as a man. Well, let me just say this, that all that is that's just dope on a rope. All that is another type of heroin, and they got you hooked. All they're doing is literally offering you something that's going to make you feel good, and you're going to think that this is actually going to make your life good. So what you're going to find is that you'll take this advice, this information, you'll apply it to the world, it doesn't work, and then you just assume that there's something wrong with the world. When inherently for some of us, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with the world. A lot of times it could mean there's something wrong with you. If you are a man looking for a solid woman, and everybody that you listen to on the internet is telling you that black women are stupid, and you're going through the world believing that black women are stupid, then guess what? You're going to miss out on the times when you're also being stupid. So I really encourage people, if you want advice on things that are important in your life, get advice from qualified people. Can we at least agree on that? Can we at least agree that we're going to start checking the qualifications to make sure that the person giving us this information is trained on this type of thing? So being a radio show host trained you for a lot of things. If there was a seminar on how to be a great radio show host, I get it. But I'm not going to ask somebody who's never been married about how to save my 21-year marriage. I'm not putting that in the hands of somebody unless they're really qualified. And even then, I'm going to get a second, third, fourth, fifth opinion. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't done it. Let me just mention again, the sponsor for today's podcast is Ashtay. Ashtay, they are a Black-owned hair care company that helps Black professionals and cosmetologists and barbers create first generational wealth from behind the chair. So I hope you'll go support Ashtay at ashtay.com. And if you'd like to sponsor podcasts or get a shout out, you support us, we support you. Feel free to go to drboycefinance.com. So let me kind of give my 2 cents on this. I hope it's okay. Give me permission. Let me know if it's okay if I give you a little bit. I'm going to put on my finance professor hat and give you a little bit of financial perspective on this. And then I'm also going to put on my Uncle Boyce hat and give you a little bit of black man perspective, married black man, 51-year-old Uncle Boyce point of view. Let me know if that's okay. I always ask for permission for that because I don't want to violate anybody or make anybody think that I know everything. I don't know everything. Believe me, especially when you talk about something as complex as Black relationships. Black relationships are complicated because of this thing called slavery. It's complicated because of this thing called oppression. It's complicated because of this thing called racism. It's complicated because of this thing called Jim Crow and all these other things. And then you blend integration in the middle of that, and you get a whole messy set of outcomes in a lot of our relationships. A lot of our relationships are just upside down and backward because a lot of our families were just so disrupted by what has been done to our people in this country. And the Black women are frustrated because some of these men don't want to stand up, don't want to be men. And some of the men are frustrated because some of the women have become men. And it is very challenging to figure out, okay, are you the dude or are you the lady? Which one are you going to be? Because dude looks like a lady right now. I don't know which one I'm trying to deal with right now. Am I dealing with another guy? Am I dealing with somebody I need to nurture and protect? I don't know. So it's hard. It's really, really hard. So here's my thought on this, right? So the financial side of me says that money is one of the leading reasons that people fight in relationships. This is one of the biggest factors in a relationship. If you ever want to have stress in your relationship, then go into a relationship when there's not enough money. I know that people have this feeling, this romanticism that says that you can go and make your money together, and I get all that. But if you do that, you have to really be on code and have a set of values and principles that are going to help you navigate the rough times without placing blame on the other party when there's not enough money in the house. Money pressure is big, which is one of the reasons why, if you want to do a really big favor for your children, prepare them financially by investing for them while they're young, doing things like the $5 a day plan. You can get I have an ebook on it. You can get it on Amazon or anywhere else, or you can get the ebook for free. But on Amazon, you can get the hard copy. And basically things like that prepares your child to have enough money so that your daughter is not sleeping with raggedy, dusty men just so she can pay the bills, and your son is not out here feeling like less of a man because he can't pay the bills himself, or he's not out here thugging or killing or getting sent to prison. There was this crazy thing. I saw this thing. I put it on my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. And I put on my Instagram this image where they said women were having this debate over whether or not they would date I'm going to bring my wife in on this conversation. We're going to do a pillow talk on this because I want to bring in a woman's perspective. I believe that the perspective of Black women is extremely important. And also my perspective as a man matters too. So I'm going to bring my wife in on this. But here's what the whole thing said. It said something like, women are debating, would you rather have a guy that makes $250,000 a year who makes street money, like he's out, thugging, breaking the law, whatever, versus the guy who makes $40K a year who has like a regular job? And that debate was really interesting. And some women were like, there is no debate. But there were some people who, were honest and said, yeah, that $40K a year guy with a regular job is boring. The street guy is interesting. It's exciting, right? There's always a part of women that likes the bad boy, and I get all that. But what made me sad about that whole conversation is that, first of all, number one, anybody who just thinks that street money's good or whatever hasn't lived long enough to see what it feels like to have your husband go away to prison for 15 years. Or you haven't lived long enough to know how you traumatize your children when you're having them go through prison security in order to see their daddy and watching them scream and cry every time daddy has to go back to his cell with handcuffs on. Anybody who believes that street money is interesting and exciting are people who maybe haven't ever been like sitting in a car with a dude during a drive-by and taking a stray bullet, or watch their little baby get shot because some dude wants to kill your man. I'm not hating on it. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying that's the reality of it. But you have to live a little bit in order to see those things, or you have to be smart enough to hear other people's stories. But with that said, one of the sad realities is that there are people who believe that that's the only choice they have. They believe that if you make that kind of money, that $250,000, it's got to be street money. And that if you have a regular job, you have to be making the low money. Why does there have to be a trade-off? Why does it have to be that in order for me to make money, I have to take an unnatural and extraordinary risk? And if I don't take all those risks, I'm going to make small money. No, that's not the case. How about you make big money without taking the risk? How about we train our kids so they can make the $250,000 without having to go out and take a couple bullets in order to get it? How about they can go out and make a few $100,000 a year without having to do 30 years in prison? What do y'all think about that? I mean, do you think that maybe that could be part of the Black agenda that we have going forward as a community, to say, I want my kids to do well, but I really don't need my kid to be thinking that being a dope dealer or a thug or a drug addict or running the streets or popping caps at people and all this other stuff is the way that a man's supposed to live? Because there's a dark side to that the media never shows you. They glorify it in music, but they don't actually show you what it feels like to be in front of a judge when the judge says you will be away at prison for 35 years. And then you go to prison and people are beating you up and trying to rape you for the next 30 years of your life. That is a nightmare. That is a nightmare. And it is up to us as a community to make sure that we have enough conversations so that anybody who thinks that the street life is cool is going to just at least know what they're getting into, so they don't find out when it's too late. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. So that's the first part. If you teach your kids how to make money and you leave them some money, then they won't have to make stupid decisions because of money. They won't have to get into dumb relationships because of money. They don't have to go chase a man because of money. They ain't got to go live up under some woman because of money, because he don't know how to get money himself. He'll know how to make it, and he'll already have it. So he'll be able to make a different set of decisions because of that. Second of all, to get to the core issue, actually, before I move on I'm going to make my last point. But before I do that, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. And I want to remind everybody, don't forget that the All Black National Convention is happening very, very soon. It's going to be October 28th through the 30th in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have a whole long list of amazing experts that are going to be there. It's a great place if you believe in Black power, if you believe in Black unity, if you believe in Black love, if you want us to win when it comes to politics, economics, and family. You can come to the convention. You're going to love it. I guarantee you. And it's going to be in Charlotte. And we're almost sold out of tickets. So you may want to get your tickets now. You can get your tickets at boycewatkins.com, or you can also become a vendor. I put it all on my website. You can get tickets. You can become a vendor. You can volunteer if you don't want to buy the ticket and you want to volunteer. You can go through the training as a volunteer. You have to get trained now. You can come to the convention that way as well. We encourage you to bring your family, bring your kids. We have a whole educational track for children, but sign your kids up early because we need to know how many kids are going to be there well in advance. Okay. So anyway, so let's move on. Hit the thumbs up button. Okay. Last point I want to make on this. Should they get a divorce or not based on the fact that this man's wife stole $17,000 out of his bank account without permission? So let's recap. So the man calls into the Angela Yee show and he says, I've been married to my wife 21 years. We've been together 25 years. I found out my wife took $17,000 out of our joint account and she claims that it was for her brother. The reason I found out about it was because I confronted her and he was asking, should I get a divorce? And again, my fundamental point is he shouldn't have been asking that question to somebody who wasn't qualified to answer it. It's too important of a question. Divorce affects children. Divorce affects all the people that are looking up to you, depending on you, etc. Divorce is very difficult, traumatic. Divorce is also economically devastating. So when you ask a question like that, you don't call a radio show host. You call your therapist. You talk to other married couples. You talk to your pastor. You talk to some other people that can really, professionals that can really give you good information. Now, with that said, my 2 cents on this is that I hate the idea of him getting divorced over money. I want you to think about it. Let's assume that she's not lying. Let's assume that she really got this money for her brother. Well, if that's because that's a whole nother issue, right? If you had to confront her and she tells you, oh, yeah, that's for my brother, then I would probably go talk to the brother and say, did she really give you this money? Or I try to find out and independently verify that because honestly, if she hasn't done this over 21 years and then she claims she did it for her brother, I just need to know what's really going on. Are you really out of love with me? Are you really taking care of some dude? Like what's going on with this money? But then let's assume it is for her brother. Well, first of all, I want you to ask yourself, it is deceitful, right? So, but it's not about the money. It can't just be about the money because if it's just about the money, $17,000 is a lot of money. But is a family worth more than $17,000? Give me a yes or no. Give me a yes or no if you think a family or a marriage is worth more than $17,000. You can't even buy a good car for $17,000. I'm not saying $17,000 isn't a lot of money. It's painful to lose that much money. That's a lot of money. But a family is worth more than $17,000. So if it ever got to the point where, so for anybody who thinks it's just about the money and the magnitude of the money, I would say, no, I don't think I would get a divorce for my wife for $17,000 because it's going to cost me a lot more to get that divorce, not just financially, but also emotionally and also in terms of my children and my children's well-being is worth more than $17,000. Now, if that goes to the core issue, this is about something bigger. This is about deceit. This is about her misleading him. It's about her doing something without including him. The trust is broken. So here's what that means. That means that you probably have to invest in a therapist. You got to go get some help. Go get some professional help. Don't try to fix it all by yourself. A lot of y'all have bad relationships like I did when I was younger. I mean, we all make mistakes. But when I look back on my life, the reason I made bad relationship choices is because I did not know who to get answers from, and I tried to solve everything myself. There are therapists out there that can help you. There are books that can help you. There are even good YouTube channels being run by trained professionals that can give you all the information, all the advice that you need. So regaining that trust is going to be a process. Therapists can help you regain that trust. Then also there's just some functional things you can do. Like, okay, all right, babe, I just want you to know from now on, because I have a problem with what you just did, I got my own bank account over here and you ain't touching none of that. A lot of couples do this. They have his bank account, her bank account, and their joint bank account. And then maybe there are rules on what we do with the joint bank account, but at the very least, I'm putting some of my money over here. That's a simple diversification strategy that might solve that problem that my wife might jack me every now and then. And here's what's funny. I don't really know if anybody else thinks this way or not, but honestly, I kind of, 17,000 is a lot of money for most people. So that's a big difference. Now, let's say it was like $200 or $300 here, there, or whatever. I kind of would expect my wife to spend money sometimes without me necessarily knowing about it. I don't tell my wife what to do with our money. I just say, just if it's big, let me know so I can be prepared. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm a boss, you a boss. If I tell my wife I want to buy something big, she's usually not going to stop me. But then the part of the reason we can do that is because of what I talked about earlier. We were both financially prepared. We didn't get married broke. Neither one of us came into our marriage broke. So that makes a difference. Now, if one of us had come in with all the money and the other one had no money, then that would have been kind of tough. That's why, again, and I got to run. So I'm going to finish with this. Preparing your children for life means preparing them for healthy relationships later on down the road by teaching them certain things and also making sure they show up with their own. You don't want your child to go into a relationship with somebody that's got all the resources and your child ain't got nothing because their parents didn't care enough to create a damn trust fund, insurance account, investment portfolio, none of that. So ultimately, the way you make financial decisions in a relationship is heavily dependent on how much money you have. It's also dependent on how much money each person kind of came into the relationship with. Look, it's like, look, if I came in with my own, like my wife, she's a professional that had her own money. Who the hell am I to run up here and talk about woman, we ain't gonna spend none of my money on nothing. I can't do all that because she came in with a certain amount of power, and so did I. And I didn't come in as my friend jokingly calls it the hobosexual. I didn't come in as a hobosexual. Well, these men out here just sleeping with women so they can get money. I came in with my own too. So, and now the challenge though is when two people come together with their own, then each person is gonna kind of have their own agenda too. Money is power. Money is power. I think that's probably the last thing I'll throw in there is money is power. In every situation, money matters. Money is power. So when you show up with empty pockets, just understand 9 times out of 10, in most situations, you're going to have less power than the other person. It ain't right. It ain't fair. It shouldn't be that way, but it probably will be that way. So show up with a little bit of your own so that you don't necessarily have these same problems, and get advice from the right people. Don't be asking no radio show hosts what to do with your family. That's crazy. All right, guys, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I want to give a thank you once again to Ashtay Products, ashtay.com. I'm going to read it again. It's a Black-owned hair care company that's helped professional cosmetologists and barbers create first-generational wealth from behind the chair. So you can help continue this legacy by buying products that help us maintain healthy hair and building a strong community. So buy Black, buy Ashtay. So that's their website. I hope you go check them out as a thank you. And if you'd like to sponsor a podcast or get a shout out, there is a cost, but you support us, we'll support your business or your platform, whatever it is. You can go to drboycefinance.com. That's where you can actually purchase advertising. And I hope to see you guys at the All Black National Convention. If you'd like to learn more about the convention, just go to boycewatkins.com. All right, everybody, please have a wonderful day. God bless you. Thank you for listening. I hope this conversation was helpful, and I will see you all very soon. All right, peace.